Guys, hope you are doing well. In this video we are going to learn about how to fetch events that we have created in the last video. In the home screen all the events are here, and in the second portion we have all the events that we are registered for. So this area is for the events that we are going to join, and these are the events that are open to everyone, right? And again, when we click on any event, it will show us the event detail like this. We have many things, description and other users that are joining the event, the price, location and the timestamp, right? Or either it is public or private. And also we will be working on how to invite friends over here. With this we also will work on the join button. If someone click on the join button, if this event is paid, then they have to pay their fee, and then the user will be able to join the event, right? So now let's get started. Basically this is the home screen that I have already created, as this course is only for the backend developers. The custom app bar belong to this section, what going today, and size box. Again I have a widget events feed. This is basically the area from here up till here, right? And then you are all catch up, and this section, these are belong inside the events I joined, right? So now let's start working on the events feed. First of all, we have to get all the events that we have created, or it's already created in the database over here. So let's see how much events we have in the database. Where it is. So yeah, so the total events at the time of recording video, I have only one event. So now let's create one or two event, and then I will come back to the video. So yeah guys, basically I have created three events out there, you guys can see. So I will be fetching these three events in the home screen, and clicking on the event will lead us to the detailed screen, right? But before now I have complete design in my hand, so I want to give you the walkthrough of the design that we will be building throughout the course. So basically this is the profile screen that we have created on the last video till here, this portion. And this circles and the tab bar we will be working on the future, because this is known as stories. So we will be implementing a story concept, and this tab bar is basically representing the tickets or the events that I am going to join, and the next tab is basically representing the events that I have created. This screen is an event detail page with few information. Home screen, all the events will be listed over here. And one more thing, in this course, as we have designed it for the advanced level, so we will be showing only those events that are basically connected to the user. Suppose user A is following user B, so user B is only get the events of user A, and vice versa, right? So we will be not showing every all events over here. And this is the community page. From here there are all events will be listed over here, and these designs are already done in the previous videos. This is the settings section. We will be working on setting as well, like notifications, payment methods, orders, close friends, privacy, all the stuff, right? And our saved events will be displaying account information, about, yeah, automatically update app. So this is a portion of the, and then we will be also working on security portion of the application. Especially in case of notification, you guys can see we will be implementing some settings, like in case of Facebook or Meta, you guys can see that someone's profile is private, someone is not accepting any friend request. So all the things we'll be implementing in this. Also in case of messages, you can see message request and message, you can allow notification. You can also support and feedback, privacy, and this is the most beautiful part of the application. I know many of you guys are waiting for this portion, basically a chat system. real-time chat reply with everything. You guys will be able to share images, files, videos in the chat system. Create event is already done. The next portion is invite guest. So in invite guest, suppose we have created an event. Let me show you where it is. Yeah, or there. Suppose we have created an event, but we made it close. So only the one who created the event can invite people to join the event, right? Hope this makes sense. And this is the notification portion. All the notification regarding message, regarding follow, regarding join an event, all kind of notification will be showing over here. And this is a kind of uploading profile picture to the profile, so you will be able to crop and something like this. And this is the checkout and the last page. Hope the app design or the app idea is clear to you guys. So now let's come back to our work. Basically I have created three events in the Firebase. Now it's time to fetch all these three events. So let me close all the files, and now let's open a controller, a data controller. This is basically a controller that we will be working on. So here I'm going to fetch all the users and all the events in order to save some reads and writes of the database. Here I'm going to create a list. You can say variable all sorry all users. All users will be stored in this list. It's a kind of document snapshot. And also we are making it observable. So same thing for the events. I'm going to name it all events. So let's get, first of all, get users. And for this purpose we'll be creating another two variables of observable type is users loading. No, sorry, I think for user it is not required. For event it is required. Is events loading, and in the initial stage I am making it false. Get all users. As the name suggests, we are getting all the users from the database and store inside all users list. Firebase auth, Firebase firestore.instance.collection. So basically the collection name is let's close this. The collection name is users. And we are going to call a snapshot. Snapshot is basically giving us a live data. Suppose a user change their name, so we will be getting their latest changes. Snapshot dot listen. Listen is the method that gives us all of the events, or sorry, all of the documents. So in this case I'm going to store all the documents that I'm getting from the users collection in a all users list. How I can do this is very simple. All users dot value, so events dot docs. That's it. Basically I have got all the users and stored inside the all users list. Now let's do the same thing for the events. Get events. Okay, so as we have already created is event loading variable, so let's make it first of all true, because we are getting events from the Firebase. Is event loading going to make it true. This is another beautiful way of assigning a variable to the observable variable type. So now let's call Firebase to get all the events. Firebase firestore.instance dot collection, and the events name, the collection name is, sorry, the collection name is events, and then dot snapshot dot listen all events dot value. Or we can do one another thing is assign all. This is another way of assigning a variables or data to the list dot docs, right? And when we get the information, then we should have to make it is loading, is events loading to false, right? Hope you guys have idea why I'm taking is event loading variable. So basically we have did it. We just created two methods, get users and get events, and I have explained the purpose. Let's call these things in the on init state. Get users. As the home controller is initialized, we will be able to get information from the Firebase. Get events, right? Now let's give it a restart and let's see. uh, I hope you guys know how and when the onInit method is called. So it is called when a controller has been created and initialized. On initialization of controller, actually the onInit method is called automatically. So in such case we have called get users and get events. So we have a list of users and events. Now let's just show in the UI. I'm going to close this and home screen. Here I'm going to find this controller. I'm creating a init state method and creating here a late variable, late data controller, data get dot find. Yeah, so this is required. Now let's again restart. We have, because we have worked on the onInit state. After this we have to go towards events feed. So basically I think it is not required in the home screen, because in the home screen we are not doing anything with the data controller. It should be required in the events feed and events ijoin. So now let's call it from there. I'm going to cut it from here and yeah, going to paste here. Or we can do another thing is without initializing, we can do one thing without creating it separately. Let's initialize it in the same line. Yeah, so basically what we have did is created an instance of the data controller that we have already put in the dashboard or the on the bottom navigation bar screen. So now let's use it. How we can use it? Basically we have to wrap this column with a, or we have to remove this column and make it a list view dot builder, and here we have to pass item builder, context and index, and another is item count. So basically items that we are getting is inside the data controller. We have to call data controller dot all events dot value dot length. I think value is mentioning is not necessary. You guys can directly call in all events dot length, and then over here we have to return the so-called event item. Event item is nothing but just a single event, right? And one more thing, as events is loading in the database and we have created a is loading event variable, so we have also to make it in the use. How we can make it in the use? First of all, we have to wrap this list view dot builder with the observable variable obx widget, not a variable, like this. Sorry, I have pasted it twice. And now one more thing, we have to check for the data controller is events loading dot value. If it's loading, then instead of showing a list view, we have to show a center with a circular progress indicator. Yeah, hope guys you have idea why I have did this. Is very simple. So I have a error of hash size. uh, this is basically coming when we have a single child scroll view or something else that is scrolling. Also create a child of scrolling widget and that don't have a specific length or size, sorry. So then we have to make it shrink wrap true and physics never scrollable physics. So this basically solves the problem. Yeah, you guys hopefully saw this. When I made it shrink trap true and physics never scrollable physics, it basically loaded the UI that we have created, right? So that was about how to show data or how to show widgets if its data is loading, how to show widget if data is not loading, right? And another thing is, now we have to actually populate the actual data. So event item is basically accepting nothing, so I'm going to give it two things. For the time being, I'm going to accept only one parameter, that is document snapshot. It's event, it's actual event, and here I'm going to call data controller dot all events with a particular index. Yeah, and then over here, as we have already, okay, mistakenly I have imported HTML, which is problematic. Okay, so event item is basically taking a document snapshot. Document snapshot is basically nothing, it's actually the original event. Now let's load information from the document event. Let me give it a restart so we can get refresh data. So we got the refresh data and you guys can see I have 1 2 3 events, and in this section I have 1 2 and 3 events already. So length is correct. Now let's load data. So basically event contain event information itself and also the creator of the event. So first of all, I'm going to get document snapshot from the all users that are basically associated with this event. So how I can do this? Very simple. First of all, we have to create a data controller instance, and we have to find it. That way you are going to find the data controller that we have already created, and now we have to call data controller dot all users dot firstware means uh, give me the first element that satisfies the condition. The condition will go over here. Condition will go over here. So what is the condition? The condition is if event dot get. So give me the UID of the event. This means that the user who created the event is equal to e dot id. Through this request or this query, we are getting a single user who have created this event and have to store it in the document snapshot user like this, right? So now I have to show the user image and the username Sarah Smith. Over here I have to show the username, right? Let's convert it. User dot get, sorry, what I have name, you, it should be user dot get. What is the name field in the database? Let's see, first name and last name. So we have to combine these two things. First, this will give us the first name of the user, and also we have to do a concatenation. User dot get last Sama ratios. Basically, this user has created this particular event. Now we have to get the profile picture of the user. Sometimes user forget to upload their profile image, so we have to make sure to apply some data or the error handling. I'm going to create a variable image, and by default I'm going to give it an empty string, and then I have to call try catch, and I'm going to get the user dot get the key name is image, right? So it will look up in the document for the image key. If it's present, then it will store it in the image, otherwise it will call the catch. So if it's error, then I'm just going to make it normal. Again I'm going to save a empty string. So now let's replace this image with the image that we got from the network. And another thing, we have to convert this asset image into network image, because image source is from internet. So yeah, you guys can see it suddenly switched to the new image that is stored in the database. Now we have successfully loaded the user information. Now we have to work on the event itself. Let me make it a little bit slow where it is. So first of all, we have to show the event image. Basically I have created a build card method or widget. It takes image and a function, sorry, it takes image, text and function. So how it use this information? The function is basically when you click on this event, it will load that particular event. The text is the title and this is the event image itself. So now let's work on the event image. Same thing, data handling is very important, or you guys can say error handling. So what field is associated with the image of the event? It's basically contain multiple images, right? You guys can see we have a media, that contain multiple images. So again we have to get a single element from the media list whose condition is image true. How we can do this is very simple. First of all, we have to call event dot get, and then we have to call the media, right, as list. We have to store it as list, and instead of event image I have to call list media, and from this media I am going to get the element the condition who satisfies first. Media dot first where element whose is image become equal to true, and then we will store it inside a map as map media item, right. From that media item we have to extract the event image equal to media item, and the image URL is URL. That's how we implement queries in a map or list, and if it throws any error we have to make it a normal, right, so it not affect on the app. So I have again now let's give it a event image, right, and over here we have to pass the event name itself, event dot get. What's the name of the event? Let's figure it out. Event name is basically the field event underscore name. So yeah, you guys can see demi event, home event, and microwave event. And for the images, it is showing error because in the current implementation it is accepting local or the asset image. So we have to convert it to the network image. Then it worked as expected. Yeah, you guys can see the image is loaded, but it is high or the it is larger in the size, so we have to reduce it. How we can reduce? We have to give it a width and size, width and height. So in case of width, I already have provided a width. In case of height, let's give it a responsive height. Get height into, oh sorry, get width into 0.7. So it is looking like this. We have to make it a little bit down, 0.5. Now I think it's looking good. We have to apply one property on the image, that is basically box fit. Where is the image? Image is here, fit box fit dot fill. So yeah, it is basically showing the filled image, but one error UI error that we can see is basically if you guys focus on this area, the image is not curved itself, so we have to call this thing inside the box decoration. We have attribute of image, we have to provide a decoration image, and inside decoration we have to again provide the network image and its image. Yeah, hopefully that will work out. And for again we have to call the fit and box fit dot fill. Okay, now it's looking a little bit ugly. We have to reduce the border radius, I guess 10. Yeah, 10 is enough, and it's now looking good. So that's how we can load events from the Firebase, the event information. Now we have to load the date of the event, the starting date and the ending date, and the number of users who are going to join, and all the information. Okay, so currently it takes image, title, and function. So also we have to give this method a snapshot itself. So it parses data by himself. Document snapshot event data. Now I'm going to pass it event data event, right. So now let's fetch all information inside this. So basically you guys know that user who have joined is stored inside the document. It's called joined users. So in this case you guys can see I have a list of joined in the database, so I have to get this list. How I can get this list is very simple. I have demonstrated. Let's try it again. List joined users. Also try to use try catch blocks because it helps in preventing errors. Joined users equal to event data dot get. What the field name is? The field name is joined. If I wrote it wrong, then it will not work, right? And in case of error, we have to make it normal like empty list. So now I have access to the user that are going to join the event. So how I can show the images from the user that are going to event is again story it in itself. So we have to first find where the users are, dummy data, bookmark, and yeah, these are the information. Like this is one circle avatar and another circle avatar and another. So this is not best way. Now let's do it in a very better way. I'm going to remove all information and leaving one element. So over here we have to call listview.builder in the horizontal direction. So I'm going to make it expanded. List view dot builder context and index, and then item count. Item count is basically the joined users, and one more thing, joined user dot length. Sorry, dot length. Yeah, and another thing is direction. Scroll direction. Scroll direction take axis dot horizontal. So it will basically scroll the elements in the horizontal fashion. And again I'm going to call return, and what it will return, it will just return circle avatar container, and I have to give it a little bit of margin from the left, so it creates some spaces in the elements. Margin is in sets dot only left 10, and then I have to copy this element and place it inside the child. Yeah, that way. Now let's try to how to start. So yeah, basically I got an error. What is the error? Now let's see. Yeah, it is saying that this element has size error. Hope you guys know how to overcome this error. uh, I think we have to remove this, expand it and call it container, and to this container we have to give a width of double dot infinity, so it occupy all the width, and height of for now 15. Again it has an error, I think. That's clear. Yeah, it have error. Let me figure it out. Hmm. So yeah, now it worked. Basically, we have to give it a predefined width. So the users that are going to join the events will be showing over here. So for now, as it is hard coded, we have to convert it to the network image. But before this, let's try one more thing. Because we actually don't have the image in it, image in the hand. So how we can get the image is basically we have only UID of the user. Currently, if I can show you, the join list have the IDs of the user who are going to join. So basically we have to get this ID and match it in the user list, and we have to get the user of this particular ID and store it inside the document snapshot, and from that document snapshot we have to get the image. That's a long way to work. Document snapshot, a user, and again data controller. Sorry, why it's not accessible? I think we have to make it accessible. Where I'm going, yeah, or here we have to also call the data controller get dot find, and here data controller. Now this time it will work for sure. Where it is, what I have to do, what I was doing. Yeah, I was loading images of the users who are going to join the event. Data controller dot all users dot first where e dot id is equals to joined users of index. It will basically give us the user, and from that user we will be getting the image. So as image usually have error, some people upload it and some people leave it, so we have to call or get it inside the error handling way. Image equal to user dot get image itself. If it's error we have to make it normal. Okay, now we have to call network image. Sorry, and here we have to pass image. Yeah, guys, we are done. So you guys can see the user that are going to join the event is the user itself, because if user created the event, so they will be already in the event. So for now it is showing only one. Now let's get the timestamp. For getting a timestamp, it's over here. We have to call event data dot get. So what the timestamp is, where it is located. One is end time and another is start time, I guess. I think it's date, the time. So yeah, I think we have to show the date over here, not the time. Uh, Date itself. What's wrong? Okay, event data dot that way is better. Event data dot get date. So yeah, it's basically loaded the date, but it's not looking good. Mm, I think we have to show only day and month. We have to truncate the year. So how we can do this is by very simple dot toString, and then we have to call split. What we have to split is on hyphen, right? So it will basically give us the list, and we have to call the zero element. But we have to make it more robust. How we can do is, let me show you. So it is basically showing the date. I think we have to show the month as well. So we have to copy things over here till here. I'm going to store it in a list date information. Simply empty list, trying to try catch, and then date information, and then this list. If something happens, then we have to assign it with the empty list, right? So now date information. Okay, I think I have declared over here. Yeah. Why it's not accessible? This is date. Sorry, day. Now we have to call for the month, and this is month. Yeah, guys, you can see 20 of 5th month, and likes, and this is the comments. We have to got it as well. How we can get the likes and the comments? Let me show you. We have to create a two variables over here, int likes, assign it with a 0, and int comments, assign it with a 0. Try to use a try catch block, and inside try, let's first get likes equal to event data dot get invert list. We are storing the likes is basically, I think we are not storing the likes. It should be stored. So I'm guessing I'm guessing that we will be storing a list in the Firebase in the future under the name likes, right? So if someone click on the like button, we will be storing this information in the likes list in the Firebase. So for now I'm going to name it like this, likes dot length. So in this case it will throw error because currently on the time being I don't have any likes list in the database, as you guys can see. So it will throw error. So if it throw error, this means we don't have any like. So I have to assign it a zero variable, zero value. So now let's repeat same thing for the comments, and I'm going to name it comments dot length. So yeah, guys, we are almost done with fetching the information where this information is stored. Yeah, 125. 125 is basically short for the likes. I'm going to show like this, and 234 here. It is showing the number of comments. So yeah, guys, you guys can see we have 0 likes and 0 comments at the time being. So now let's work on this particular button. If someone click on this button, it basically means that a user is going to try to save this event. Now how we can do this? First of all, we have to find this button, and I think this button is above something here, yeah, or here, bookmark. So we have to wrap it with a inkwell, and we have to create on tab and a child, right? So clicking on this basically will check either this user has already saved this event in their saving list or not. So how we can do this? Let me show you. First of all, I have to get the list of saved user. List saved event saved by users, right? Initially it's empty. Try catch, very important for handling errors. Events event saved by user is getting a list of user IDs in the event data that get saves. Yeah, basically I will be creating a save list in the document of the Firebase, in which I'm checking that whether the user has already saved the event or not. Event saved. So I have to do one check. If event saved by user is a list that contains my ID, how I can get my ID is very simple. Firebase auth dot instance dot current user, and then we have to call UID. So this means that if event saved by user list contain my ID, so what does this represent? It represents that I have already saved this event. So if I have already saved this event and then I click on the save button, so this means I am going to remove this event from my saving list. So how I can do this? Very simple. Firebase files for instance dot collection, and it's I think it's named events. Yeah, events dot particular event. What the particular event is? Event data dot id. This is this particular event dot set. We are going to set something in the event, and please remember to put all the call set options as well, otherwise it will wipe the data, right? As alternatively, you guys can use update method, which is specially developed for updating the document, but I'm used with set method. So for now I'm going to call saves is a list field value dot array remove. What I have to remove? Just my UID. Again copy this and paste it over here. So what does this mean? This means that go for the events collection and look for this particular document and remove my UID from saves list, right? That's simple. And if the check is false, means if event saved by user list does not contain my UID, this means I have not saved this event before. So we have to copy the same thing but have to change array reunion. So now this means save my UID in the saves list, right? Okay, it was lot to talk. Now let me show you. For instance, as you guys can see, we don't have any saves list in the document snapshot. Let me click on this and I'm going to show you that it has been created on the Firebase. I have clicked, right? And yeah, you guys can see the saves list is created. If I click it again, so this element will be removed from the list. Yeah, you guys can see saved, removed, saved and removed. Now let's implement one more thing. If we have already saved it, so change the color of this button. If we want to remove from the, then we will click it and the color will be changed. So let's do this. How we can do this is very simple. Let's copy this list or this line of code and paste it above or here. Also, now let's reuse this code instead of making it side the local. I just shifted the code so it will be available to other widgets as well. So now it's very simple. I just have to call one thing. Let me show you where it is. Bookmark. Yeah, over here. For instance, I think I just have to change the color. Color. What the event saved. Event saved by user dot contains what it should contain. It should contain Firebase auth dot instance dot current user and the UID. If it contain my UID, then what I have to show? Then I have to show a red color. Colors dot red. But if it not contain, I'm going to call colors dot black. Now let's check this whether it works or not. I'm going to click on this. Yeah, you guys can see it turned red. If I again click on this, it will turn blue. So yeah guys, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video, and sorry it was a bit long video because it contained a few important concepts like how to get user information, who have uploaded the event, and many things. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and also share the videos or the content with your friends so they also get help from the videos. Thank you.